Okay, all right. So now we're talking about the half marathon. We are moving up. We did 5K series, we did a 10K series. Now we're at the half marathon series. So, and then we're going to move up to the marathon after this. There's some similarities between the 5K and the 10K, and then the 10K and the half marathon, but things become a little bit more prevalent as you move up in distance, right? For instance, a deceleration in pace or deterioration in pace, or making it more difficult to hold the pace in a half marathon if you're not ready for it. So, additional, aerobic conditioning, threshold training, longer long runs, and a lot more simulation type stuff can help progress you or help you progress into running the 10K to move up to the half marathon, or even to move down from the marathon to run a faster half marathon. So I'm going to give you 6 workouts that I've used with athletes that I've coached that I think you'll find helpful. And again, they all serve a different purpose. Whether you're a coach or an athlete, you're going to find something here that's going to benefit you. Okay, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more training. So I'm going to have a lot of stuff coming, but this is a staple workout. You'll see some shorter reps, you'll see some longer reps, you'll see a whole bunch of different things because everybody's kind of strengths and weaknesses are a little bit different. So it's important to have options available to your athletes depending on where they're at in terms of age and experience and fitness. So I want to give you as many as possible. So this one's an 800-meter workout. It's a good rhythm workout. You're building towards 8 times an 800. It's only 4 miles in volume. You don't need to have super long workouts every single time. So but here you take a 2-minute recovery and you progress from half marathon pace down to 10K pace. So in this one's 434 to 420 per rep. And the mile pace, and if you equivalent kilometer efforts, it's 540 to 524 per kilometer pace. Okay, so I give mile pace and kilometer pace now. So there's a lot of folks that use kilometer stuff, especially outside the United States. So I want to make sure that you have both measurement metrics here for yourself. So next up, we're going to a little bit something different. And again, you'll see the slide come up in 1 second, but continuous runs and continuous workouts are just as important, right? So here you see a progression run. And if you can train yourself or train your athletes to start running and progressively getting faster throughout runs, throughout long runs, throughout workouts and stuff, then you'll be getting used to that, and it'll make it easier to run a half marathon, even a marathon that way. And again, like I said, deceleration and pace is one of the most stingy things that hit people when you're training for half marathon, when you're racing a half marathon. So doing a run like this and progression run, this can even be your long run for most people, about 10 miles. Some people go that are more fit and more experienced to go longer than 10. But if you can get to this point, we do an 8 to 10 mile progression run from marathon pace to half marathon pace. So you're starting at 925 per mile and you're working your way down to 908 per mile. Okay. And which is equivalent to 551 to 540 per kilometer pace. And again, this is also a repeatable workout. So you can do it early season, mid season, and late season as the 800 meter reps as well. But this is definitely a good, when you can get to the point where you can do medium to long continuous runs, it's a good building block for half marathon and marathon racing. So that type of progression run will serve you really, really, really well. Now, next up, we have a little bit of a different workout, okay? When it pops up here in 1 second, and just give me 1 second. Sometimes they take a few seconds to pop up. I don't know why, but they do. Here we go, a hilly speed fartlek run, okay? This one's speed development. This comes into play for everything from your 3K to your 5K to your 10K to your half marathon and marathon, but especially half marathons and marathons, okay? Hilly speed fartlek run. So here you're doing a continuous run. Let's just say it's 7, 8, 10 miles, whatever it is. And you're putting in there, you're building towards 16 to 20 times 1 minute hard and 1 minute easy. It's all continuous. It's 40 minutes of that block right there, but built into a continuous run. So let's just say you warm up 2-3 miles. You go right into that workout and you cool down 2-3 miles or whatever it is. Okay. And again, this is a 5K to 3K pace. So it's 822 to 808 per mile and about 512 down to 503 per kilometer pace. So this is a little bit faster than you used to. But again, this type of stuff, 5K pace, 3K pace, serves as speed development for things like the half marathon and the marathon. So if you can get to the point where you can do this, and speed fartleks will definitely help with your running rhythm, your cadence, and the more efficient you are, the better off you're going to be, the better you're going to be able to preserve energy in these longer runs, in these longer races. So something to keep in mind, but a speed fartlek is very, very important, and a hilly one especially. It's a great way of building leg strength. So now is a simulation long run. Reason why I say, and I like simulation long runs, or even simulation workouts. When you decide on the half marathon, it's important to take a look at the course map if it's available, or find out what it looks like. So, meaning if the race is going to be hilly, then it's important to devise long runs and workouts so that it does the same thing. It's hilly workouts, hilly long runs. If it's flat, then I would imagine divines workouts and long runs to be mostly flat. Flat is easier to kind of lock into your goal pace if you have a goal pace. There's fluctuation in pace in hilly runs and workouts on hilly races, so it's important to kind of simulate both. Okay, and again, Hilly stuff is even good development training for flat races as well. It's a great way of building leg strength. But again, getting used to that fluctuation in pace is absolutely critical. And for here, if you can get to the point where you're doing a 9 to 10 mile progression, it's absolutely critical, and it'll help you. It'll go a long way. So simulation long runs are absolutely key too. Um, Again, great way of building strength. Now we're doing mile repeats. Staple. Okay, 5 to 6 times a mile repeat. This is also a repeatable workout. 230 recovery. Okay, you do about 908 to 841 per mile pace. Okay, and 540 to 524 per kilometer pace. That's the equivalent. Okay, and again, keep in mind. Let's just say, let's use this workout, and let's say your race coming up is hilly towards the end of the race. So you can do mile repeats where essentially you have a loop, and then your last 100 meters is uphill, or whatever it might be. Last 200 meters is uphill. Now we can simulate the end of a rep being long, or if the hill's in the beginning, you can start with it at the beginning and then be flat the rest of the way. As much as you can simulate what your race is going to look like as possible in runs and workouts, the better off you're going to be. So it's a great way to be creative. And if you have more questions, reach out to me directly, blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. I'm happy to answer them for you. Okay. And lastly, we have one more workout here, which is critical as well. And this is a good one about 2 weeks out, or 10 days or 11 days out. You do a 30 to 40 minute continuous tempo run, 8:35 to 8:30 per mile. So it's faster than half marathon pace. All right. And it's a great way of kind of testing your fitness and see how fit you actually are. And then you take a 5-minute active recovery, and then you go right into a little bit of a speed far, like 8 times a minute hard, minute easy. This is probably the last of the harder workouts you do before your half marathon. Okay. And then that 1 minute hard, 1 minute easy is at 10K to 5K pace. So it's 841 down to 822 per mile, or 524 down to 512 per kilometer. So it's a great way of infusing your hard aerobic and then your fast turnover stuff towards the end of it. Simulates kind of accelerating towards the end of a run or a workout or a half marathon race. So let me know if you find this helpful. If you did, please hit the thumbs up, okay? And I've got almost 400 videos for you on this channel, so you know what to do if you don't want to miss these things. And I hope that you don't miss them. So with that said, have a great week. We're going to continue. This is sub 2 hours. We're going to go down to sub 150. We're going to work our way all the way down to probably sub 110 or maybe even sub 1 hour. So we'll get to them, guys and gals. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time.